Hello and welcome to my quick guide to building a greedy cup siphon. This design is really neat, so I'm happy to share it with everyone here. So thank you for joining. Just really quick setup. Let me go ahead and change my view here. If we pop over here, this is just our output. I was just filling up some coal to make sure that this blast furnace had enough fuel to continuously process what we're about to create. So, before we get started, some quick materials that you'll need to know. You'll want your quote-unquote cup, or your main input, that you want to fill up and then completely drain. So we'll go ahead and grab that. You'll also need a comparison chest, and we'll go over that more once we get to it. You'll need some hoppers, some building blocks, 3 comparators, 3 repeaters, and 3 redstone dust, and 1 torch. And that's everything that you need to put together the greedy cup design. So let's go ahead and just get started with this. We're going to go ahead and just start building this up here. And I'm just going to go out 2 here, and then we're going to go underneath this, place our redstone torch, in order to stop this hopper from being able to take anything. And then right above it, we're going to go ahead and build our cup. Okay, so our cup has been built. Don't need that anymore. The other thing that we want to do is we're going to place our first comparator there, another comparator here, and 1 more comparator facing out from that hopper. And the reason why we want it facing out from that hopper is as soon as it starts draining, we want to make sure that it's sending a signal to keep it going until this chest is empty, which means nothing will be in this hopper, which will automatically turn it off. So very useful to have there. We're just going to go ahead and place that there. And then we want our comparison chest. And you can orientate these chests however you want, and they can be barrels or whatever type of input you want. Just make sure that your cup is the same as your comparison. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Whoops. And then let's pop around back here. We're just going to place a repeater going into there. We're going to place a block here. And we have 1. That's right, okay. We want like this, and then we want a repeater here and here. And then we want to place 1, 2 redstone here, 1 here, and 1 final. Actually don't need the repeater there. There we go. So now you have your full design here with everything in it. So we have our comparator coming out here to detect how many items are in here. We're going to just change that to subtract mode. And what it will do is it will compare this chest to this chest. So what we're going to quickly try and do here is just grab any type of potion, go in, fill this up until there's just 1 slot remaining, and we should be able to do this fairly quickly. My inspiration for building this while we're filling this up was a video from Action Lab going over the greedy cup siphon, and just was curious if I could build something within Minecraft. And then I held off on making a video until I could find an actual use for it, which in this case is fuel efficiency. And you'll kind of see how that works once it gets started. So we're just going to go ahead and do this, and just because I like it better like this, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So there's our setup here. So the maximum output that this can ever put out is 1, and then it will send a signal down here to turn off that redstone torch. And once that redstone torch is off, items will start filling into here, which will trigger this, which will send a signal down here, through here, and then back into that same redstone torch to keep it going and keep it flowing. And this is really good if you have like a squid farm that has extra fish coming out and you just want it to be fuel efficient as it cooks the fish, or if you have an iron farm that or iron blast furnace setup or ore setup, you can just make sure that it's not going to run unless it has enough items to keep that fuel going, so you aren't wasting as much fuel. And that is the primary purpose of this design, but I would be curious to see if other people have other ideas for this design and how you can use it in other ways, and also if you can make it more compact. Just to show you that it does work, we're going to go ahead and grab some raw iron. And this is going to take a moment too. I could have done this with barrels, but I wanted to show that it could be done with double chests. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go. Just very quickly going through this. And if you know of someone else that has already made this design, please go ahead and comment. I'd be curious to see if this has already been set up before. But from what I could find, I couldn't find anything like this, so I wanted to make sure that I shared it. Oops, there we go. Okay, so now we have just the one empty slot. And just to show you really quickly that it can't pull it unless it is completely filled, putting in 32, putting in 48, putting in 56, 60, 61, 62, 63, and then as soon as I put this last one in, you'll see that it starts sending out a signal, and you can see that it just keeps it going, and it's going to keep this redstone torch turned off until this is done filling up. Now, something that I do recommend doing is probably putting another double chest here or here, just to make sure that as things start to back up, that it will be able to keep up with it. And then you'll just be able to keep your iron coming out and making sure that you're just staying fuel efficient as much as possible. So thank you for coming and watching this design, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And once again, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'd be happy to try and look at some other designs that I've put together and throw them out there that I haven't seen made before or are modifications of what other people have already built.